I know y'all ready for this, man. That Jacksonville real grimy beef. Let's get into it, man. Before we get started, I need to let y'all know what that drill music really mean, and we gonna dive deep into this Jacksonville beef. Let's go. Alright, so for you people that don't know, drill music focuses on crime and the daily ordeals of life on the street. The word itself is street slang for the use of automatic weapons. The beat tends to be of a slow tempo, usually 60 or 70 beats per minute. The rapping style isn't concerned with metaphors or punchline, and it often has a very deadpan delivery. This right here is JDOT BREEZY. We gonna go in depth with this whole Jacksonville beef because I want y'all to understand what does this really mean and the type of terminology that they use in these raps. You know what I mean? It's another black male killing another black male. Who really a op?
Diddy got chased. He shot in his shit. They left his shit open. Let's not do this for the Instagram. Literally, let's not do this. You got shot in your fucking ass. You know the nigga that shot you, and you still haven't did shit about it. Shut the fuck up.
Alright, so Charles Jones is also known as Julio Foolio, who is a rapper. He's a music artist and a rising star from America. He is best known for 2020 singles Double That and SRT. Foolio is a portion of the hip-hop gathering KTA. Now remember that name, man, because we're going to dive deep into this. It's going to get real wicked for a minute. Alright, so before we get into this juice, I gotta let you know who is Bibby and how it all started. So Bibby is Adrian Gaynor. He's a 16-year-old friend of the rapper Julio Foolio, who was shot and killed in the Hilltop Village apartments in 2019. After that, man, it's been diss records after diss records after diss records, man. But I want y'all to check out this footage real quick from this news clip, and I want to hear what y'all got to say.
Jr. is now suing Hilltop Village Apartments. The teen was shot and killed there nearly 4 months ago. Tonight, News4Jax reporter Janice Harris tells us they want justice for their loved one and a safer community.
Adrian Gaynor Sr. is heartbroken that he will never see his son, Adrian Jr., again.
My son is truly missed. It's been heartbreaking. I got to deal with it every day. It makes me tear up every time I think about it.
For a 16-year-old to get off the bus, to come visit a relative and be shot in broad daylight, I got a problem with that. And everyone in this community is. We're tired of being sick and tired of every time that you turn on the television that there's a loss of a life.
So, ideally, it took 2 years for an arrest to be made for the killing of Bibby. The man now accused of killing Adrian Gaynor is Hakeem Robinson, known as the rapper Queso, who is affiliated with the ATK. And I'm going to break that down later on so you guys can get a better understanding of what these initials or these letterings stand for. The lyrics from one of Queso's music videos also mentions Adrian Gaynor by the nickname Bibby. He said, quote unquote, I can't say everything, but he said, N-word, never played with Queso, smoked Dirk and Bibby to the face though. Queso says in a music video for Queso BITCH. So as you can see, man, it's really sad because this beef has heightened to a place where I think it's no return, because there has been bloodshed on both ends with both of these rappers, man. You got KTA and ATK. It's just getting crazy out here, and it's not safe. You know what I mean? It's really not safe at all.
Can't no op say they bitch me. Can't no op say they stepped down on me. Can't no op say they took anything from me. Can't no op say they shot at me. Can't no op say they even played with me. Can't no op say that, bro. That's the God honest truth. I swear to God.
So listen.
Answer the question.
You hang around 1200, you dying by they hood.
You don't want to answer nothing I ask you.
You dying by these niggas hood.
You want to keep telling me.
You dying by another hood, you don't even know where that shit born. You don't know they OGs, none of
That's
that.
how you know you a clown, bro. You's a pure clown. You know it.
Cause you jumped out the porch, done,
You
go
stick your nose in everybody else's business. Just like you say, clout mama.
I think we have to come to a point and figure out what to do in our community to make it better. You know what I mean? And if you look at my last video with the Young Thug and the whole Gunna situation, they're using the lyrics against these artists because they feel like they have a big influence, and they do. You know, whether these rappers see it or not, these kids are influenced by this music, and I don't know why. For some reason, violence is so like big in our culture. Like, why is it promoted the most? You know what I mean? Why do we want to hurt someone to get a point across? And this is what the music has transitioned to, and it's going to be hard to be able to put a stop to that, because no matter how much we want things to go right, it's still going to go wrong in that aspect. I've seen music change for the worse, and I feel like it's not going to get any better at this point, man. With these guys putting the names of dead ops in their music is not going to stop, because you're going to have someone that wants payback. It could be 5 years from now, it can be 10 years from now. One thing about it, man, people don't forget, especially if it was a loved one that was close to them that was lost. There's no forgiving when it comes to that. As you see in certain instances, you see Quando Rondo, he wants to drop his flag. But whatever you did out there in those streets, it still remain with you. It's something you just can't run away from. You know what I mean? And I'm going to break down the whole ATK and KTA so you guys can understand the meaning behind each one and what they're portraying to the public. All right, so right now in Jacksonville, the rival factions are ATK versus KTA. There are 100 videos or more on YouTube describing what both those acronyms mean, with some slight variations. The one thing that's constant in both is the K, and they stand for kill. The star of ATK is the rapper Yungeen Ace. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but you can check out some of his videos on YouTube as well. And the star of KTA is rapper Julio Foolio. He's on dozens of YouTube channels. You can check out The Quiet Room with Queen's Flip. They go into that documentary. You got the Trap Life documentary. And these vloggers and social media posts from Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio just pretty much describes like the deadly killing between the two groups. Now, the reason why I did the JDOT, BREEZY, and Foolio, because it's like, it's one of those situations where I want to leave this situation alone, but you keep dissing my dead homie. So as long as you mention my dead homie, I won't ever stop talking about, you know, your friend at that point. So it just gets to a point where they're at odds and they don't know what to do in that particular situation. And I feel like it's not going to have a good outcome behind it.
And address the root causes that can lead to such violence. Our investigative teams uncover critical information while working on our streets and share it with our law enforcement partners to aid in initial further investigations and prosecutions. So we all know that social media has impacted our society in many ways, and most of those impacts are positive, and they allow people to share information and communicate about everything from family milestones to noteworthy local, national, and international events. But unfortunately, these same advances in technology also provide the criminal element with a new platform to promote their trade in the street culture market. As social media has become more and more prevalent in our society, we have seen this medium being used with increasing frequency to spread threats of violence between groups and gangs here in our community. These messages are intended to threaten and intimidate others and are most often relayed through rap music videos produced by gangs and groups who film them here in our city and then share them on social media. These videos typically glorify drug use. They celebrate a culture of violence and are often intended to intimidate or threaten rival groups or gangs. Firearms have become increasingly prevalent in these videos with content that insults and challenges rival gangs and groups that can lead to acts of retaliation such as drive-by shootings. Convicted felons are adjudicated delinquent felons. They are all documented gang members or associates of criminal street gangs right here in Jacksonville, and I'll not name the gangs to give them any undeserved attention.
This beef inflamed. It went from bad to deadly with the May 2017 killing of 19-year-old Zion Brown on the Jacksonville west side after a man stormed a home there and shot him to death. So for you guys that don't know, Brown was Julio Foolio's cousin. The guy that was arrested in the shooting was 19-year-old Dontre Thomas. Yungeen Ace, who real name is Kenyatta Bullard, pleaded no contest in a Orange Park robbery that occurred 7 months before Brown's murder. Thomas and Bullard were both implicated in that robbery where the two conspired to rob someone who was reportedly selling weed. Shots were fired into that home, nearly missing a couple and a 1-year-old child. I say this to say that, man, we have to pray for our young black men, and we have to raise our young black men into kings. The youth is being misled. We have to put a stop to it. As of now, we don't need more young black men or males out here to be statistics. We don't need any more statistics, man. Like that, it's your boy Kato Media. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. I will be dropping more and more and more videos. And remember, it gotta be in you, not on you. Let's go.
I ain't never seen him in real life. I'm gonna keep it real though. That man is not on the damn thing.
Shooting sounded like a war zone.
60 to 70 rounds had to be dropped in the course of maybe 15 seconds.
Sky 4 captured the large crime scene outside the Hilltop Village apartment complex off 45th Street just before 3 this afternoon. For several hours, the backside of the apartment complex was taped off as investigators collected shell casings and other evidence.
And while police have not released the victim's name, sources tell us it's Adrian Gaynor Jr. Tonight, News 4 Jax reporter Eric Alvinier was there earlier and has the latest.
Family members have identified the 16-year-old boy who was shot and killed inside the parking lot of Hilltop apartment complex as Adrian Gaynor Jr. They say he was employed at a local McDonald's, attended school regularly, and was beginning to get on the right track. The person or people responsible for his death has not been captured.